About a year ago, I released Self-Command, an audiobook. It includes the full ebook with it, if you'd rather read rather than listen, but basically about how to better get yourself to do the things that you mean to do. How to more easily shift a habit, start a habit, how to more easily stay focused on the thing that we intend to stay focused on. And it's both a simple, really easy technique, partly because if a technique gets too complicated, then you won't actually do it, in combination with a variety of ways of thinking around it that we've figured out through lots of trial and error, testing with other folks, that we found has helped a lot of other people who, despite having other demands on their time from school, from family, from work, from other obligations, to still be able to fit in hobbies, habits, new skills, learning, reading, taking courses, for that matter, yoga, rest, relaxation, playing games, or whatever it is they're trying to do more of, helps us do the thing that we intend to do so we can feel better about how we've been using our time. Now, I released it about a year ago, partly because it overlaps in a lot of ways with some of the same challenges that we approach a New Year's resolution for, which I know is not everyone's jam. I know there's been sort of a bad history of people have negative feelings about when they've tried to do it in the past. And one of the reasons why I'm putting my material out there this time of year is partly because it really can and does help you do the things that you mean to do. And I'm basically piggybacking that time of year as a time where we're asking these questions about realizing maybe there's some differences between what I've been doing and what I want to be doing, what I'd feel better if I'd been doing. Now, obviously, it has been a very bizarre and difficult year for a lot of people. And I will say, even out of my own circumstances, I've had some difficult times this year. And in many ways, the same techniques were very more helpful for me in those situations where I was having a harder time concentrating. I was having a harder time staying on top of even habits I felt like I had established when I got rattled by some changes that were outside of my control, helped me better put myself back on track. Also, speaking of things that are outside of our control, you'll also see it's bundled with Selfcalm. That's other material I developed partly throughout this year as an adaptation of classic Stoic text, traditionally titled Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. And it pairs well with it, partly because whereas Self-Command is about getting ourselves to do the thing that we mean to be doing, Selfcalm in many ways is borrowing from, adapting, updating, rephrasing for modern context, a set of long-standing techniques that have been used to kind of help us basically think a little more like we mean to be thinking, to get our thoughts in alignment with what actually will help us change our situation, what actually we can do anything about. The materials are separate, but both included there if you want it. It can often help where if I'm having a hard time where my thoughts are too cloudy, or I'm feeling caught up in thinking about something other than what I mean to do. If that's part of my challenge, Selfcalm helps us out there, so they pair well together. So that's why you got Self-Command and Selfcalm both there in a bundle at selfcommand.com. Now, it is material that I spent a long time developing, testing, iterating on, writing, workshopping, all kinds of stuff. So there's a price on it, and it's a case where everyone who's got it certainly will agree it is worth it. That said, there's also, if you scroll down there, if you don't have the money, if you can't pay at this time, whatever the situation, there's also a link on that page on how to get it completely free, paying literally nothing ever. Don't owe me a thing. All the details are spelled out about how that works. It's basically an exchange for doing 2 hours of good out in the world, where that is something you don't have to prove to me. You don't have to submit any receipts. You don't have to do anything. It's just whether it's phone banking, whether it's volunteering, whether it's protesting, whether it's different ways you can do good, teaching others who need help, all kinds of ways to do that. Just read the page for more information. But I want to encourage you to check it out, to consider it, to explore it. If your situation is such that it makes more sense for you to pick it up without paying for it through the 2-hour volunteering option, then I encourage you to do that. You're not stealing it. You're not doing anything wrong. It is specifically there for that purpose, and it's because I want more people to be able to have it, including folks who maybe are in a situation right now where that's just not where they can do things budget-wise, but I believe you'll more than likely find the benefit from it. Everyone who's worked with it, tested it, tried it, has had positive responses from it. So I encourage you to check it out. Again, that's self-command.com. But I wish you all the best going into next year. Again, I know it's been a challenging time, and I know for a lot of us it will continue to be an unusual time, certainly for a little while here into the future. But hope you're doing okay, all things considered. I've taken to the phrase 2020 fine, meaning not necessarily any worse than everybody else, all things considered. But happy holidays, y'all, and see you in 2021.